Sawete, we are back, line 567 to 570, in Book 2. Aeneas is up on the palace roof of Troy. He has just witnessed the death of King Priam at the hands of Pyrrhus, and also Priam's wife, Hecuba, and his son, and it reminds Aeneas of his own father and household. So Aeneas has looked behind him and seen that he is the only one left on the roof. Everyone has either given themselves to the fire or thrown themselves off the roof, and now he's going to see Helen of Troy, Helen of Sparta, also known as, in the Temple of Vesta. So here we go. Iam quadeo super una seram cum limine vestae servantet tacitam secretin sede latentem, tindaridas spicio tant dant clarincendia lucem, erranti passim quoculos per cuncta ferenti. And now, indeed, I was, eram is the, I is the subject. Let's make that a little thicker there. And so ego is the subject, eram is our verb. I was super. This really goes along with eram here. This verb, supereram, has been cut. This is the device, the figure of speech called timesis. It's T-M-E-S-I-S, timesis. It's a Greek term, means cutting. And so now indeed, I was the left, alone, unus. That describes Aeneas, the ego. I read another note that said that super could also be meaning I was above, as in I was on the roof. But Farr seems to think it's super eram, and this other book, Knapp, the editor, said it could also be super eram. So I'm going to go along with this. And now, indeed, I was left alone. Cum limine vesta servantet tacitam secretin sede latentem tindari aspicio. When I see, aspicio, when I see, and this is a cum clause here, from here to here, and it's what we call a temporal cum clause because the verb is in the indicative. So it's not a circumstantial sort of a cum clause. So just translate it, when I see Tyndaria. Tyndaria. And who is Tyndaria? This is the daughter of Tyndareus, Darius, who was Helen's father. That is what we call the patronymic, calling it by the father's name. You might remember Diomedes was called the Tydian one, son of Tydides, and this is similar. So Tyndarian one, and it is accusative, even though it's got an A, because it's a Greek accusative. So, one more time, when I see the Tyndaridan one, which is Helen. This is Helen of Troy or Sparta, that's what this means here. And I know I've been saying I see, but I suppose you could say I saw and translate aspicio as a historical present, because it did happen in the past. But it adds some excitement to it. When I see, to translate it in the present. When I see the Tyndaridan one, Helen, servantem, and here this word can mean preserving or saving. Here I would translate it as clinging to a place, clinging to the thresholds of Vesta. So this is accusative, and those go together, right? This is a present active participle modifying Helen. They're both accusative singulars, even though this doesn't look like it. It's a Greek accusative. Clinging to the limina vestae. Now this is the object that this servantem is taking, and vestae is genitive of Vesta. Why is Vesta so important to the Romans? Vergil makes us believe that Vesta comes from Troy. You might remember when Aeneas saw Hector in his vision, in his dream, Hector was holding out to him the eternal flame of Vesta. And so this is in the Temple of Vesta, and the Romans have a Temple of Vesta. It's this round temple where this eternal flame burns. She's the goddess of the hearth. She's kind of like Rome's hearth, is this Temple of Vesta. So Vesta is very important to the Roman religion, and the hearth gods, which are the Penates or the Lares, they're very important to each Roman home as being the center of the home. So Helen is in this hearth goddess place. She's clinging to this temple. So the Romans would have found this, significant when they read it, that Vesta would have been in Troy, or at least that Vergil is imagining that this could have been a possibility. And she's on the thresholds of Vesta. This really means in the temple of Vesta. This is synecdoche here, and where we'd have a part for a whole, like say wheels for car. We're saying thresholds for temple here. So I see Helen, the son of Tyndareus, clinging to the thresholds of Vesta, and quiet, hiding. Now these are all accusatives, so they all modify this Tyndaria one here. In the sede secreta, in the secret place or temple, in the sacred shrine. Sede is the temple here. So one more time. When I see Helen, the daughter of Tyndareus, clinging to the thresholds of Vesta, and quiet, hiding in the secret shrine. And you could translate this quietly if you want, but it really is an adjective. Quiet, hiding, because Latin prefers an adjective there, or it can have an adverb also, but adjective is acceptable. So that modifies that, and all of these are modifying the accusative there. Next sentence, or next part of the sentence. Dant clarincindia lucem eranti passim quocolos percuncta ferenti. Here's your subject. The incendia, the fires of Troy burning. Dunt, give, claram lucem, little chiasmus here around incendia, clear light, and you got to put in a mihi. It would be, mihi is dative, right? Got to put in a mihi. To me, erranti, wandering, and that is dative, and this is a present active participle. And to me, you got to put in again, ferenti oculos, bearing my eyes. So this is dative again, to me bearing my eyes, because it's an indirect object from Dant. The fires give direct object, clear light, to me, indirect object, and then these both modify mihi, to me wandering, and to me bearing my eyes. So that oculos is a direct object of this participle, ferenti, and bearing my eyes per cuncta, through everything, through all things, looking at everything. Passim, everywhere, all about. Really, these two things are communicating the same sort of idea. It's just doing it poetically. So let's do that whole thing one more time. And now, truly, I was left alone when I saw Helen, the daughter of Tyndareus, clinging to the thresholds of Vesta, and quiet, hiding in the secret shrine. The fires give clear light to me wandering, and bearing my eyes through all things everywhere.